Hello, my fellow readers. This is I, Dark Symphony 777, with another pair of fanfiction reviews. As always, I'll be leaving a link to the stories in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications, leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts of the video, and finally, this is my opinion. My opinion is not indicative for everyone in the world, so please respect that. So, today we got two Mario fanfictions. Been a while since I did a Mario fanfiction. It seems like every so often I always end up doing a Mario fanfiction for whatever reason. I guess it's because it's Mario and like Mario's universal. Ta-da. But the first story I'm doing today is The Green Thunder by Fires14. Or yeah, Firas? Fires. Feebas. That's right, it's a Pokemon. Ignore the weird. Not that's not Pikachu. That's What's that name of that? What's the name of that dumb Pikachu? The Dende. There it is. The Dende. The Mexican Dende. Don't ignore it. So, what is this story about? Well, this story is about Luigi. That's right, Luigi. Everyone loves a Luigi. Uh, and well, it's bad. Okay, it's not super bad. There is a chief concept behind the story, but it's bad. So what? So the plot is basically Luigi wakes up from a nightmare. Everything basically he's having nightmares about something with the Green Thunder. Dun. In essence, the Green Thunder refers to Mr. L from Super Mario. You know, the game that everyone only remembers from that one meme. What was it called? Oh, I love going on game forums and complain about games I never played before. Yeah, that game. So Luigi's kind of freaking out. He's having these nightmares. He doesn't know what's causing the nightmares. He's starting to actually suffer health-wise from them. But him and Mario have a job to do. So they try and look into doing a job. But they find out that most of the supplies for the plumbing job has gone missing. And I don't know what's going on. Meanwhile, at Bowser's castle, Ludwig kind of goes bonkers because of course it's Ludwig in the story. Ludwig is I don't maybe Ludwig seems to have gone mad with power and jealousy out of the fact that Bowser Jr. is kind of getting all the spotlight. So he basically steals a bunch of power stars, you know, the Starmans, and he turns them into stars, which is like the black stars. I think I can't remember when stars were actually debuted. I believe they debuted in Mario Party. I think it was Mario Party 4. Don't quote me on that because I'm honestly not 100% sure when they debuted. No, Mario Party 2, I believe it is. But they wake Ludwig corrupts these stars and he makes a gigantic power star powered hammer. And he uses it to knock out Bowser Jr. and Bowser, and he turns them to stone, and turns most of the other families to stone, except for Wendy, who's like, I will do whatever you want, just buy me jewelry. Deal! Yay! So, that's that for a bit. With Mario, Mario's kind of trying to figure out what's going on with Luigi, while Luigi is trying to like fathom why he's having these nightmares. And he eventually finds out that the nightmares are actually causing him to sleepwalk and take all the materials away and hide them. He doesn't know why it's happening. All he knows is whatever it is, it's something of a side effect the from the bad nightmares he's having. So he goes to tell Daisy this, and him and Daisy get attacked by a bunch of piranha plants. Luigi gets hit in the head, and it reawakens Mr. L. And so Mr. L basically takes out the piranha plants, saves Daisy, and wants to get revenge on Mario for basically dealing with him in the events of Super Mario. So he kind of goes after Mario. He gets stopped. Mario is now completely confused over what the fuck is going on with Luigi, because now he's Mr. L again. Peach gets kidnapped by Ludwig because Ludwig specifically kidnapping Peach to lure Mario to him, so that way Mario can die. So it's Mario and Daisy to the rest. Well, not really Daisy, but she's kind of there too for moral support. Uh, Maybe. Uh, Mario inadvertently runs into a corrupted Roy. Roy gets cured, and then Roy kind of has to like swallow his pride. He's like, "Yeah, I hate you, but Ludwig gone too far, so I have to swallow. I'm gonna swallow my broken pride and say, Mario, I need your help. Come on, don't let me hang. All right, yeah." So Roy and Mario kind of team up for the rest of the story. They hang out. Mr. Elves gets hired by Ludwig, basically because Mr. L wants to like save the princess and defeat Mario. Ludwig's like constantly throwing all these little errands and side stuff at Mario to try and with apparently the guise of trying to prevent him, but it's actually it's like now I planned for this. He's gonna beat them and come here, and I'll finish him off myself. It's like, you ready? And, um, correct. It's been a while because I had to deal with like rats and stuff. And I completely forgot like bits and parts of the story kind of like phased in and out of my memory when I was reading it the second time. Anyway, uh, so Mario and Roy they basically save a little port town. The captain says, I owe you my life. I'm gonna help you out. Takes them to the Koopa Kingdom. I think this story kind of operates under the assumption uh, that the Koopa Kingdom is actually an island, which is actually unique for a Mario story because I believe like what the map territories is the fact that uh, typically the Mushroom Kingdom and the Koopa Kingdom are kind of like two large continents, kind of like right next to each other. But this one kind of paints the idea that the Koopa Kingdom is like its own, just an island, like a volcanic style island. So it's really cool. So Mario and Roy they get to Koopa Kingdom. They say they have to deal with they with Wendy Koopa who's trying to kidnap Daisy because at this point Daisy's with them. For the sole purpose of trying to lure Mario into a fight with Mr. L. They beat Wendy with the help of the captain because they're in sightline of the ship, and so the captain's actually able to like get a cannon shot lined up and basically do damage to her. They manage to save Daisy, but they can't they still have Peach. Mr. L and Mario finally fight near the end. Um, and Mario managed to knock out Luigi to kind of get the Luigi persona back, and Mr. L kind of dies inside Luigi's subconscious, like with Luigi actually like beating Mr. L, saying, "You're done for. The Green Thunder is done." Like, fair enough. Peace. Everyone except for Peach has been rescued. They go to Ludwig's castle, which is Bowser's castle. Uh, Ludwig has like one last trick up his sleeve, basically using a star to turn Bowser into Giga Bowser. But he's like expecting like, oh, Bowser's gonna lose because they always lose. Baby Bowser and Daisy separates from the crew because they need to stop because Roy goes off to confront Ludwig. Ludwig uses the last star on himself, basically corrupts himself, And then there's like a 3 chapter where Mario, Luigi, and Roy kind of team up to, to take out Ludwig finally. While Daisy, just basically has to save Peach. They save Peach. Peach kind of beats the snot out of Wendy. She's gone. They beat Ludwig, uh, and they managed to rescue Bowser and Bowser Jr. Bowser like initially managed like I'm rescued, but he's like he realizes the situation. He's like, all right, I'll let you off this time. Just go home, just go home, go home. And they eventually go home, and everyone lives happily ever after. That's it. That's the story. Goodbye. No, no, the story's bland. Everything just kind of rushes and blends together in a way that's not really enjoyable. I don't particularly like it, but eh, it is what it is. That being said, there are certain parts of the plot I don't like. Um, it's way too short. This story is just under 70,000 words. It feels way too short because like take the fight scenes. The fight scenes are written completely, utterly garbage because this is an instance of the author trying to incorporate game elements for whatever reason, which is weird because this story doesn't really implement that many game elements, but it tries to for some reason. If that makes sense, I don't know. Like it tries to incorporate like strategic fighting, like oh they're fighting like King Boo, like a hypnotized King Boo, who possesses the remains of the Mecha Koopa from Mario Sunshine, and now they have to like completely tear it apart piece by piece. But the Boos keep kind of bringing it back together. It's like oh we have to do, but they have to get like the bullet bills and kind of turn it, have them chase and crash into it. It's fine, eh? But it's over far too quickly because by the time it actually starts to get good, it's like they already won. Like like these chapters are just very very small. Another thing is there is no really any build up to the suspense. Like okay, the idea of Ludwig kind of getting feeling that he's getting shafted because in this story it's kind of playing to the idea that Bowser kind of reproduced asexually, and all the Koopalings are his kids. I know canonically they were declared that they're not his kids, but this story kind of rolls with the idea they are his kids. I believe some people actually theorize that the Koopalings are more or less just adopted, and he just kind of raised them. But in this story, they're supposedly like his kids. So what happens is we're actually gonna go into the character, gonna segue into the characters because there's really only Ludwig and Luigi to talk about because everyone else is just there. With Ludwig, the core concept of him feeling jilted because he's been around the longest. He's the oldest. He's the wisest. Theoretically, he should be the next in line. Only for Bowser Jr. to show up. Basically, the Koopaling, no, not Koopaling, Kamek. Basically, did like a bunch of magic mumbo jumbo, and basically made an egg with Bowser DNA to make like Bowser Jr. That's how he's made in this story. And then Junior just kind of going all the way to the front and saying, "Oh, now he's the one getting attention. He's the one who's going to get the throne. He's the one who's going to get everything," despite the fact Ludwig theoretically should have a claim to the throne, makes him kind of an understanding villain, which would be fine if not for the fact that again the fact the story is so short and kind of rushes through everything upends a lot of what I think should have been done, like having like instead of turning Bowser to stone, maybe just turn Bowser Jr. to stone and finding out more about him, Ludwig's kind of depraved mind as he's like slipping into the further my tongue's twisted. My throat is actually killing me right now. Um, Kind of find out what make Ludwig tick in the story, which actually would have been a great character role, but no. Instead, we got like a bare minimum. Oh, he's upset that justifiably, Junior kind of just breezed by him, and he's like relegated to like watching over the castle, and he didn't like that. Like I said, I think Ludwig's the right idea was there. It's just it's just so bare bones that you can't really. There's nothing to latch onto. With Luigi, there's the whole idea like the whole nervousness about the whole situation with Super Mario. That's fine. Again, right idea for what the story is trying to tell, but it's so rushed that it kind of screws over the entire concept. With Luigi, uh, he's he's like scared. He comes off as very scared, very nervous. Like he still wants to be there for Mario, but he has this kind of mind, this kind of inferiority complex that he's always going to be the number two. And it's kind of eating at him, but it's like he realizes that he wants to at least be there beside Mario, but the Mr. L representing his jealousy and envy is again really good concept, but it's never explored enough that you get to actually truly care for Luigi. I think that's ultimately a fine how do you do and a fine story beat, but the fact that they own Luigi and Mr. L only interact like twice, and one of them is like right before Mr. L is about to die, and the first time is when Mr. L just takes over. It kind of leaves kind of a bitter taste on your on the mouth. And the fact that's like, oh, this is actually a good idea, and then you realize, oh, there's no substance to the whole thing. It leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. Everyone else, from Peach to Daisy to Wendy to Mario, is just bland and generic. I mean, which is even more telling because Mario's kind of the main character. Even Roy, like, yeah, he has a brief moment of having to like reluctantly work with Mario, and we're just getting screwed over the whole thing. But yeah, there's that. With in terms of grammar, I actually can't remember. I think um there was no. I'm thinking of the other story I'm reviewing that there was a very funny grammar error. I actually don't think there's any grammar errors in this story. Yeah, I don't think there's any. Uh, anyway, pacing. Uh, yeah, it's too fast. Like 70,000. I understand that you want. I think the author was new to this game. Like if I go right here, I think this is only. Yeah, the author's still going. Where is two? Oh, not a new author. Oh, how long? How many? Where is it? Oh my god, I didn't even. Oh, here it is. Right here. How many stories has it made? 80 stories. Okay, so I thought this was gonna be the author kind of starting out. I was willing to give it like a benefit of the doubt, but no. Hold on, let me double check. Oh, I see what's going on. So this author, let me see. Let me see if my theory is right. Yeah, yeah. It looks like this author is not really used to writing stories of a long length because from what I could see, I'm gonna go back again. Yeah, this author, what the? Oh my god, the Zombieland saga. Oh, okay. Yeah, this author more than likely. Let's see. Yeah, this author more than likely was used to writing microfics before writing this story, and microfics follow a completely different rule set from traditional stories. There's there's three main types of stories. There's microfics, there's short fics, and then there's regular stories, which is what this falls under. And I don't think the author had experience writing the stories of this length before, so that's why he kind of fumbled a lot of the stuff and rushed it. Again, this is just a theory. I don't know for sure, but it's some kind of plausible deniability. I'm at least willing to let the idea roll that the author was just inexperienced in writing stories of this length, and so doesn't realize that transferring from microfics to long story like traditional length stories is a completely different ballpark. So I'm willing to give that to the author. But having the only good thing about this story be two good ideas for characters, yeah, I can't. I'm not recommending this story. I can't. I really, really can't. Favorite part? No, I don't really have one either. It's just really there for the most part. What would I do to change the story? Honestly, the author actually has a good idea for a story. Like the idea of Ludwig getting jealous of Bowser Jr. jumping ahead of all the Koopalings to kind of to be the one to take over the throne, despite the fact Ludwig would have like a legitimate claim to it. The idea along and his deteriorating sanity over that revulsion, combined with everything on the Mushroom Kingdom side of Luigi, Mr. because of Mr. L, the incident with Mr. L, he's constantly coming back. Those are actually good ideas. So what I would do is have the story be kind of like a dual type story with each side kind of having its own separate plot line, and it slowly divulges into one story. The story would have to be really long. I would have to say probably like 200, 300,000 words, because instead of trying to do one short story that kind of already has these kind of rapidly collide and then go forward, you have one each doing a big chunk of a plot, and only like in the second half do they combined into one plot to drive everything forward. With Luigi's side, play on the insecurities. Have instead of the night along with the nightmares, like he's waking up, he looks in a mirror and he sees Mr. L, and he's basically just constantly rubbing in his face, like, look at Mario. He's the one getting the princess. He's the one getting the adventures. Why are you fighting back? And Luigi's like, you get conversations between Luigi and Mr. L of Luigi constantly like turning him back. It's like, well, you'll need me sooner or later. How the whole situation with Daisy happened, kind of the same. And Mr. L and the noggin kind of happening. Mr. L kind of gets a foot, like, not have Mr. L take full control, have Mr. L get a foothold that the thefts actually start happening after this incident. So, like, instead of the nightmares causing the thefts of the pipes, it's Mr. L causing the thefts of the pipes. Like, minor stuff at first. Like, Mr. L's is willingly stealing the pipes in order to try and ruin Mario's business. That's not a bad idea. And so Mario kind of goes to confront, kind of figure out, you can do like whole mini mystery of like trying to figure out what's going on and finding clues that, oh, it might be Luigi. It's like, Luigi, why? And then Mr. L takes over. It's like, because I will end you. So says the Green Thunder. No. Wait, what? Ah! Wait, no, you're not. You're not Luigi. Ah! And you can kind of have like Mario chase Luigi all across the Western Kingdom, while Luigi's trying to kidnap Peach. You could do that. With the other side, have a lot of introspection on Ludwig by himself. Like he's looking at like it actually starts pretty well enough. Like Ludwig just bored out of his mind of doing another roundabout survey of the entire castle. Looks in the throne room, sees Bowser playing with Bowser Jr., gets really jealous of the fact it's like, and him rumbling, it's like, look at him. He takes the throne. It's my throne, damn it! Of course, Roy confronts him. It's like, hey, Ludwig, what are you doing? It's like, look at that! It's just Bowser playing with Junior. It's like, but don't you know? But didn't you hear the news? Junior will be the one to accept the throne once Bowser passes away. So I'm the oldest. I should have the throne. Have Ludwig come off as sensible at first, because in this story, Ludwig's actually one of Bowser's kids. So Ludwig has a legitimate gripe with wanting a throne. He's the oldest, as monarchy states. The oldest usually is the one who gets the throne. So you can have a little storyline of him confronting Bowser, trying to make the claim. However, Bowser basically being Bowser and said no, because Junior is my living reincarnation sort of deal. Like you can do whatever you want. Just make it so Bowser is completely stubborn and unmoving, and Junior getting thrown before Ludwig. Ludwig gets pissed, makes the hammer, doesn't turn Bowser to stone, turns just Junior stone, but has him on standby. So it's like, all right, Bowser, you're gonna give me the throne, or else what? Or else or Junior gets it. That's a statue, Papa. Oh no, Junior! You want to take that risk? Have Ludwig assume the throne and slowly kind of take control of the kingdom. So like he starts putting up propaganda. No one buys it, because as much as Bowser is kind of a failure, he's a charismatic failure. You can make him kind of charismatic, and you can kind of make that the same reason. Like Ludwig just doesn't have the right mindset to properly rule, because he kind of become a tyrant. Have him take either brainwash something. Like there's even a part where it's implied that King Boo tries to fight on Bowser's behalf, and Ludwig hypnotizes him. Show that. Show him freezing Kamek. Show him freezing large swaths of the army. And of course Wendy joins him, and then afterwards, Ludwig takes his army to kidnap Princess Peach. They run into Mr. L, with still being chased by Mario. Ludwig confronts Mr. L and Mario. It's like you hand over the prince. Wait, why are you kidnapping the princess? It's like, because I'm supposed to be saving her. Ludwig, of course, being Ludwig's like, all right, we'll roll with that. You want to work with me? What's in it for me? Luigi, no! I will give you the love of your life. It's like, I will give you Peach. It's like, that's not my love of my life. That's just a princess. Oh, the other princess? You will give me Daisy? Yes, I will give you Daisy. Yes. Yes, rolling with it. Okay. Ludwig and Ludwig and Mr. L team up, basically wreck Mario, but get saved by Daisy. Give Daisy a little time to shine. She takes him to Salazar Land, where they have this big setup and everything. Daisy realizes that she wants to save Mr. L and basically have him become Luigi and stuff like that. So they kind of set up you can do a whole story arc in Salazar Land where Daisy's trying to convince Mario, let me come with you. No, let me come with you. No. Hey, look, Roy Koopa. Hey, how you doing? What are you doing here? I have no idea. Oh, I'm here to kill you. Of course, Roy has to join So it'd be like a trio of Mario, Daisy, and Roy, and do like the entire second half can just be a retread, a more extended retread of everything else. Like they take the army, they go to the port city, they save the port city. The captain takes them to Bowser Kingdom, and everything kind of plays out the samey there, just more extended. So that's what I would do. That's really it. So on to the next story. Ad Astra per Aspera, otherwise known as Through the Stars with Difficulty, by Princess Jellyfish. So this story, I really like the story. It's not it's not amazing by any means, but it's all right. So the story kind of is based around a combination of Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario because it kind of borrows elements from both these games for some reason at the same together, because despite the fact RPG and Paper Mario are like two different worlds. But fine, we'll deal with that. So the story starts with basically Mario and Luigi. They're just doing normal things. They get a letter from Parakarry for um by Peach. They get a letter from her. They go to visit Princess Peach's castle. Bowser shows up, kidnaps Princess Peach. Realizes that this time I actually do something. I actually be serious. Turns out Bowser is working for a guy named Forgeron, who is actually Smithy's master. Hence why the whole connection with Mario RPG, because this specifically has the idea that Smithy was working for someone. But in this story, Smithy kind of was working for him, but then it's like, no, I'm gonna straight on my own. Goodbye. Hey, you can't take. Wait, hey, no, are you taking that ship? No. Why are you sending your men in that ship? No, I'm not sending my men. No, you get out of that ship. No, don't start this ship. Don't start that. I'm trying to plan world conquest. No, get off that ship. Don't turn on that ship. No, don't leave the port. I swear. What are you doing? Fordham? Fuck it. My plan of world domination just got delayed by an unknown amount of time. Get more troops. Okay, sir. So Bowser takes Peach into a sky castle, and they're on the way to a place called Iron Mountain. Peach with Toad, because they kidnapped a Toad tried to save Peach, and he kind of got kidnapped on the side too. They rescue. They kind of rescue each other and try to escape. And they find out they're in the skies, so they try and get the entire castle to crash. They manage to do that by convincing a newbie Magic Koopa named Giselle that kind of inadvertently help them, and manage to get the plane to crash. However, afterwards, Forgeron shows up, takes mind control of everyone, all of Bowser's troops, and Mario. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Mario gets hypnotized because Bowser realizes in this story, is like, if I want to kidnap Peach successfully, I need to take out Mario first. So he basically gets like Kamek to put a magic spell on him. Mario gets like hypnotized, and which is how Bowser kidnaps Peach in the story. And then when Forgeron shows up, he kidnaps. He not only puts his mind control overriding Kamek's mind control of Mario, so he controls him. But also takes all of Bowser's troops, so now it's just Peach and Bowser, and they're stuck like somewhere. Meanwhile, Luigi finds out that Mario's gone. Not only is Peach kidnapped, but also Mario's gone missing. So he's like, "All right, I'm now be number one," and say, "I'm going on my adventure. Goodbye." Runs into Gino, because Gino reveals that the Star Road is starting to be drained. He doesn't know where it's coming from, but he's being drained. And they say, "Well, I know someone who could help," and they go visit Mallow. So now you have two sides. You have Peach and Bowser on one side, and you have Luigi, Gino, and Mallow with the other. Oh, it's just like Mario RPG. Just replace Mario and Luigi with Luigi. I'm a number one. So Peach and Bowser, they're kind of wandering around the desert, and they realize, wait, are we in Sarazar land? Like, ooh, yes, maybe. But the main bulk of the early story is Luigi trying to figure out what's going on. They find that Mario has been brainwashed. They realize Gino theorizes that whoever is the one draining the Star Road is the one hypnotizing Mario. So it's like, so he comes to a difficult decision. It's like, what are you thinking, Gino? I think we have to break up the Star Road again. It's like, no, yes, no, you're absolutely stupid. It's like, all right, break it, and then we get the 7 stars again. It's like, Gino, you're why? We have to go get them. It's like, we can find them easily. It's like, however, the star pieces actually have enough energy to grant a wish, which is evident when they find out that Daisy has one. When Peach and Bowser discover Daisy has one of the stars, Daisy actually inadvertently wishes to cut Peach down to size, and the wish interprets that as Peach actually starting to get younger and younger. Well, apparently, it's more shrinking than anything, but more than likely, at best, her age would have been cut in half. That's fine. They eventually all meet up, and they realize, well, Mario is kind of being hypnotized. However, because Star Road's broken, Fordron can't really control Bowser's army anymore, but so he's focusing all of his energy on corrupting Mario because, like, yeah, Bowser's army is one thing, but I got Mario. I can just use him. He's a one-man army himself. So they eventually team up. They try and find as many stars as possible. Peach gets separated because they run into the Axum Rangers Reborn, and then Peach, weirdly enough, ends up in Brooklyn. And this is the part of the story that I'm just like completely weirded out about. Peach wakes up in Brooklyn, and then proceeds to run into Pauline, who lives above Mario and Luigi's now gone, now like dead store, and takes care of a kid named Mario. And she's still like she's mourning over Mario, and she's kind of presented as like a very like a widow because Mario's in the Mushroom Kingdom, but Pauline doesn't know that. So Peach kind of gets to know Pauline, and she kind of gets jealous at first because it's like she loves Mario, but why did Mario never tell me about her? And eventually, Peach managed to find out how Mario got to the Mushroom Kingdom and basically just goes down, gets a tool belt, and goes down to the sewers to basically find the pipe that gives her access to the Mushroom Kingdom, with the mental promise of somehow finding a way to come back, so that way so she can that Mario's still alive, which never happens. Then they manage to eventually get all the stars. They're all teleported to Iron Mountain because Fordron realizes, well, this is the last star. That's the only star, which means this star should have the only one that has energy left. I got an idea. He wishes all the others, like the people who are like interfering with his plan, come to him so that way he can just kill them, which happens. And then we got a multi-chapter part where Fordron uses the hypnotized Mario to try and kill Peach, and Peach kind of has to use mind games to try and like stay on the edge because Mario's like completely destroying her. And we even get like even when he's cured, like he kind of has like a funny moment where like they run to everyone and they're kind of stop Fordron. It's like, well, I'm not that tough to deal with, am I? And literally every single Luigi, Peach, Mallow, Gino, and Bowser all turn this Mario and say, "Yes, you are," which honestly is a very funny moment because It kind of shows how tough Mario is to deal with. That the one time he questions like, "I'm not that tough, am I?" I said, "Yes, you are." We got a cool moment where Peach is like the one to defeat Forgeron, because Forgeron is basically like like a robot that's kind of half cyborg that's kind of staying alive through magic, and they kind of realize, well, the only thing that could probably stop him would be Peach's mute ability to basically nullify magic for a time, and so that way when she actually lands it, his body just decays, which is actually a really cool visual, and honestly sells the scene. So everything kind of goes back to normal. Gino takes the stars, fixes Star Road. Everyone kind of lives happily after, except for Pauline, who we got like a little epilogue where Pauline is hanging out with Mar- uh, Mario and Luigi's cousin, and he kind of convinces her to kind of like move on from the past. But I think it's kind of like, because Pauline is just not important enough in the context of the story. She's just there as a throwaway side plot for Peach. Okay, I guess. But that's it with this plot. I think the plot is executed decently enough. It's really just meant to be like an epilogue of sorts to Mario RPG. Like, oh, here's just a guy that Smithy used to work for before rebelling against him and kind of doing his own thing, kind of wanting to finish the job. It's fine. Again, we do get some humorous moments. Again, the aforementioned Mario, like, I'm not that tough moment being like absolutely hilarious. Uh, but that's really it. When it comes to the characters, what characters? I mean, most of the characters' behaviors kind of carry over from Mario RPG. So outside of the only interesting character beat that happens is the whole thing between Peach and Pauline. But that's not really enough to go on because the chapters are so short and this little side plot is so short that it's kind of doesn't matter. Like maybe if there was follow up with like, oh, Peach, like we get like another little mini arc where Peach finds a way to get to open the to get Mario back to Brooklyn, and they basically have like a final conversation with Pauline, just so Pauline can know that Mario's alive. Would have been something, but a brief hint of Peach getting jealous of Pauline kind of is rendered moot when Pauline is just utterly convinced that Mario is gone, is like doesn't know if she'll ever see Mario again. So there's that. Forgeron is honestly a good concept. Basically, a cyborg human who was Smithy's boss. A lot of stuff is ambiguous, so there's not a lot of context on him. He's just him being Smithy's boss is like the only thing we can attach to him. It's fine as like a random one-off villain. I think it's all right. Grammar. There's actually a funny grammar. There's a couple of grammars here and there, but the funny one is I actually remember where here. It's here. Should be uh let's see. Should be right. I can't remember. I think it was here. Uh, but there was a part where Luigi's chasing Mario, and Mario turns around and hits and basically sucker punches Luigi in the face. But instead of writing cheek, the author inadvertently spells it as check. So I get like the mental image of like Luigi chasing Mario with like a bill. It's like you forgot to pay your spaghetti bill, and Mario turns around and hits the check, and Luigi's like, I'm not paying for any bill, and they're running away. It's it's making something out of nothing, honestly. Uh, Pacing. This is another thing where the story is like way too fast. It's 58 chapters, and it's 53. It's less words than this, and both of them are too short for their own good. But this one at least has a more surface level plot, so the fast pace doesn't really it's not really as punishing as this story. I do the author does honestly like them big words because the story is riddled with like big complicated words that I think the author just tried to be a thesaurus and have a little fun with it. Which is fine. I don't really have a complaint with that. But that's just like Green Thunder and like this story should have been more than it is. Yeah. There's also the fact that the story actually was started, like you can see right here. The story was actually started like in 2001, around Luigi's Mansion came out, but the story was published in 2005. Um, so more than likely, the author, yeah, this is the only story. More than likely, the author was just like wanted to had a good idea, just decided to dish out a story just because, and then did nothing with it. That's fine. Personally, I wouldn't recommend this story either because, despite honestly, this story is better than Green Thunder, and the fact it does do a little bit more right. It's still kind of hampered by the fact that everything's just very. There's no characters, and everything's kind of and a lot of stuff is sped through. First thing what would I change? Or well, if I had a favorite moment, it would have to be. It actually have to be the Pauline, the whole Pauline storyline. It's very short. It's only like a couple chapters, but I do think the author did actually go for something thought provoking of like the idea of Peach meeting Mario's original girlfriend and then kind of getting these feelings, but like her, but not knowing what they are because she also realizes that Pauline might never see Mario again, and then kind of learning to like try and figure things out. That would have been a great idea if it was followed through. Like if the story was longer and we had like an entire second part of Mario and Luigi and Peach going back to Brooklyn and just reuniting with Pauline, even if it's for a short time, even if it's just say hello. I think that little story, that side story, was actually well done enough that we just got to see Pauline as a character. I think this is also the first fan fiction to have Pauline as a character, so good on the author, if I'm right. But yeah, uh, what would I change? Honestly, there's another make it longer, but another thing I would basically add is just give us more Pauline. Like, I don't care how you do it. Maybe like make a second half of the story. Like after Fortron's defeated, Peach works with her with the Chancellor to find a pipe to get to Brooklyn. They find it. She kind of surprises Mario. It's like, as a thank you for like everything you've done, I want to give you something, and she basically gets her and Luigi. You can even bring Gino and Mallow and Bowser. It's like that'd be hilarious. Like Bowser squeezing into Pauline's cramped apartment. It's like, oh, maybe do like a little thing with Donkey Kong. Like Donkey Kong shows up and like, yo, what's up? And basically they just say hello to Pauline. Like it wouldn't be that long. It'd just be a simple hello, hello. I'm jealous of you. What? And just give you a more happy ending of Pauline kind of getting that closure sort of thing. Because I think the ending with Luigi and Mario's cousin basically just randomly telling Pauline to let it go and just her accepting that. Honestly, that would have worked too if their cousin was actually in the little storyline as well. Like, say, like, oh, the cousin shows up, introduces himself to Peach. It's like, maybe he kind of figures out that from Peach that Mario and Luigi still alive and she knows where they are. Like there's tons of stuff that you could have done with that specific story. Hell, you can even just make that story just its own thing. Like I honestly would love to see the idea of just Peach kind of getting like not understanding the idea of jealousy in regards to Pauline, and just her trying to struggle with that the just the core concept of jealousy, of envy. That honestly would have been a thought provoking story on its own. Just that specific plot line. But this is better than Green Thunder. I don't really have I don't really have as much to want to change as that story. So yeah. So I think that's it for this story. Oh, also, yeah, no, yeah, that's it. So yeah, this has been the Green Thunder and Astra per Aspera. This has been Dark Symphony 777, and